Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the YouTube account and we're continuing our progression. As you can see, we're on 53-56, so almost done with 53 right now. But also looking at the King's Tower now, I've been grinding this out. If you caught the last video, guys, we've been grinding out the King's Tower. Now the Celestial Sanctum, we have hit 820, so that is the current cap that we have. Even here, we're at 815 within the Infernal Fortress. So again, we are almost to the cap within there. Now, because we've been grinding this out, guys, this is what we have been looking for. Now, we know we are going to have an engraving rewind that is coming. Now, I really stress right now, guys, when you look through your heroes, looking at the engraving rewind, I know there's a lot of players that have commented on the heroes that they want to reset. And I really urge you to remember a few different things, guys, as you get into the engraving rewind. Number one, that if you have a hero that is at a +30 or an E30 engraving, such as Sonya is right here, guys, might not be really worth the reset for the simple fact that getting back your shards, so getting back your E30 mats, not really, in my opinion, worth it to reset a hero, because you also have to take in consideration when you look at big picture, getting a hero back at an E60 is of course going to yield you your 4,500 cores back and allow you to build another hero out. Now, even though I've been kind of contemplating going back and forth, I've gotten a ton of comments about what heroes that they're gonna reset from the patch notes video a little bit earlier today. And again, I really stress that you go through and you figure out exactly what hero you do want to reset, because a lot of players, even looking through here, we're talking about resetting Kren, which again, not used in a ton of different modes. However, Kren is still the #1 priority when it comes to the Mauler Tower. So again, kind of keep that in mind when you look at a hero like Kren. And I've heard the exact same thing with Raku, guys. Raku is actually one of the primary driving forces when you start getting into 2 teams and 3 teams in the tower. Raku is not only crowd control, but also does an incredible amount of damage. So if I am resetting these stars, again, not going to be a hero that I would recommend resetting, just for the simple fact, again, that you're going to have him for the tower progression. Now, of course, I've also heard the same with Oden, looking to reset Oden because, again, not really being used within the Curse Realm Nightmare Corridor, not being used in a couple different game modes. But again, really take a couple minutes, think about the engraving reset. If you're going to reset a hero like this is a driving force, again, when it comes to our Graveborn Tower. Then the question came up in looking at some of the Celestials and the Hypos. The exact same reason, guys, the driving force in the towers. But then the question came with dims. So some dimensional heroes that most players are not using at all, that they have massively built out. And that is where the fact of Eins comes in. There are some players that have Eins at an E80 or even higher, depending on the build, guys, that you actually do have him engraved to. Even here, we only have him at a 60, but a lot of players also do have Eins at a 100, meaning it is entirely maxed out for a hero that, #1, unfortunately does not have a tower at this point. We don't know at what point in the future, if or when they're going to bring a tower. There was some speculation about the tower was coming, and then it kind of never came to fruition. So again, Eins might be an interesting one to actually reset to get all the ones back. And you know what? Honestly, if I reset a hero like Eins, worst case scenario, I engrave him again if we do get a tower in the future. Best case scenario, we don't see a tower for our dimensional heroes, so no love lost right there, and I do get my engraving mats back with that. Now again, looking at some of the big picture things, free-to-play players, very hard to get the cores. Now we do have a couple of events that are going on that I kind of wanted to run through with you guys and kind of go through and go over kind of what we have going on with the cores right now, as well as Eugene. A lot of players have also questioned if Eugene is going to be leaving the guild store. Right now, all of the sources that I have talked about or seen have said, no, Eugene is not going to be leaving the guild store. So he'll actually be in here. So it might take you several months of the accumulation, because even right here, guys, we have 21 days until this resets, giving us 1 additional copy if we have the guild coins to get him, which we'll have to accumulate and cap these out. But essentially, you can only get 1 full copy a month. So you're talking what, I mean, at at 1 copy a month. We need 3 to get him built up. You're probably talking at least, what, 6, 9, probably 10 months to get him done. Not really going to be well worth it building him out of here. Now, of course, this is going to curve some of the cards that we need, some of these time emblems, by getting some copies of him out of here. So I'm thinking even now, looking at the event we have going on, and again, this is the question that I've been getting a lot, guys. We already have Eugene right here to Legendary Plus. I have 1 additional copy, and then of course the event popped up today right here, the Warm Winter Night, which is going to yield us another copy of Eugene. Now, overall, my thoughts on Eugene is I know right now it is a little bit too early to tell exactly where he is going to be used or the effectiveness of him, but the ability to get a built awakened hero that you're going to use in a couple different places. And honestly, I feel like when players do get the opportunity to build him out, he's going to be in the Cursed Realm, the Nightmare Corridor, the Treasure Scramble. We're going to see him in all of those game modes, especially when you can build him out much higher and much larger. And you can also kind of amplify the damage that he can do based on the build. So out of here, as much as I would like to continue going in here and buying out all my baits, because that has always been my primary focus, I am going to pick up this copy of Eugene. Now, I know overall, looking at Pogo and a couple other players that kind of do the breakdown mathematically, what is the best buy out of this event? Eugene still remains with a really, really big question mark because we don't know exactly what the impact is going to be. But like I said, for me personally, guys, if I'm getting them out of a couple events, if I'm picking them up out of the guild store, even on 21 days, if we get the reset, I can buy 1 more copy out. I already have 1 more copy on getting out of the current event. That will take him to Mythic, unlocking the signature item. I have enough to build that out, which means we're going to have him built out. Now, also with the Engraving Rewind or the patch notes that we just got, we know there is not a new hero, guys. That is awesome to see, which means I have 3,800 baits in here. I am saving the baits for the Pandy because I do want to build out Pandy to an 18. So actually, I'm going to drop out right here. I'm going to drop out my seal, and we're going to drop the Panda right in there when the Panda is introduced in just a couple days. So patch notes will come up on Global on Monday, just like it normally is, guys. Monday will be the patch notes. Tuesday will be the actual drop. And of course, they are giving us a free copy out of here. In addition, there is going to be a Fantastic Voyage that is going to go hand in hand with the Panda Age or the Adora Bear, the Bamboozled Energy. So there is also going to be a lot of additional Beast Energy or Beast baits that you can get out of there, building them out a little bit further, as well as the current events that are going on. In addition, we're getting ready for the New Year's event. So there's always going to be events when it comes to the Christmas season. There's also going to be events when it comes to New Year's, which I'm super excited about because I continue progression, guys. The Ghoulish Gallery is getting a complete overhaul, if you've seen. So going through here, we're going to be able to get a lot of credits out of here for the bizarre totems that we've actually utilized in here, which again is going to be pretty cool to see. The adjustments we're getting in here, making this a lot easier, making the ability to build out collections much easier and faster. We have 1 more attempt right here, which we know resets in 2 days. So looking in here, guys, I'm thinking PvP wise, getting probably one of these mage ones for Gavis would be my thought, is building it out, using a couple more totems in here, just for the fact that we know that it's going to be reset. It's going to be reset. I want to see exactly what they're going to credit us for in there. But again, it's going to be interesting to see. We want to finish out 53. We want to get a little bit further. And then, of course, guys, finishing out the rest of the King's Towers so we can get some more cards. Even looking here, cards are pretty sparse. We're up to 15 time emblems right now. Even out of the current events that we have going on, we can pick up a couple more out of there. And then, of course, again, with some of the upcoming events, we can start stockpiling our time emblems for the next heroes that are coming down the pipeline, which we know it should be a considerable amount of time before we get another awakened hero. But again, think about it, guys. Think about when it comes to the reset, exactly who you're going to be buying, what it is going to look like, and who you're going to reset, because that is a question that I have been getting every day. But again, as much as I love Ainz and I think he is very, very important, I think he is going to be the one that I'm going to reset. As much as I would love to reset Thorin as an entirety with his E30 right there, guys, again, beneficial in the places that he's being used. I could see a lot more return out of Ainz because I don't use them anywhere because we don't have that tower. So all right, guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments who you are going to reset with that engraving reset. And as always, thank you guys for watching.